Hi, everyone, and welcome to our show, Discovering Laguna Woods Village. I'm Cindy Whitney, and today we're not only going to be leaving the village, we're going to be leaving dry land altogether. That's right, we're going to be heading out from the Dana Point Harbor with the capable crew of the Laguna Woods Yacht Club, and we're going to be discovering the open ocean. We're going to do some interviews with the crew before we leave to find out what their responsibilities are and to get a safety overview, and then we're going to strap on our life vests and hop on board. We hope that you come with us because this is going to be awesome. Hi everyone. Well, we're standing on the docks at Dana Point Harbor. We're getting ready to go out on our cruise, and we're speaking right now with Commodore Daryl Bordestrasse. And I was wondering, Daryl, can you tell us a little bit about the Laguna Woods Yacht Club?
Laguna Woods Yacht Club was formed in 2008, and some of the original founders, Jan Badgley, her late husband John, Charlie Bengal, so a lot of old-time residents in the village started the club.
Could you also tell us how, we understand how we have a yacht club. How do we have a yacht?
Well, donations from our right now 107 members allowed us to buy a boat, a 30-foot Catalina sailboat. And so we sail 6 days a week out of Dana Point.
So we own that boat, or the yacht club owns that boat, and everyone gets to use it that's a member of the yacht club. But what are the conditions? Do people have to learn all about sailing before they go out?
Well, actually, we have the ability to train people if they know absolutely nothing about sailing. And if they don't want to learn, they're absolutely welcome to join us on our cruises when we go out looking for whales and dolphins and all the sea life out there.
No kidding. Wow. Well, I must tell you, I went on your website in the last few days, and you have a very comprehensive website. There's a lot about training. I learned the 10 most important words that you need to know before you even go out. You have Talk Like a Pirate Day. You have lots of things that sound like a lot of fun. Is the club a lot of fun?
Well, I certainly think so, and we hope that all the members feel that. Fun followed or behind safety. Safety is the most important issue because we have conditions out there that are probably sometimes not what we expect. So we try to have fun, learn something, and do it safely.
Yes. So there's a lot of planning involved before you even go out. Is that correct?
Well, certainly for the skippers and our crew, our assigned crew. So yes, we try to learn what we can about different conditions and how to react to them. So
now tell us, what are your responsibilities as Commodore?
Well, hopefully to provide direction to everybody in the club. The skippers, make sure they're trained, make sure that the social committee gets together and provides activities off the water, because we have our happy hours once a month. We have a general meeting once a month, and so we plan for all that.
Our happy hours on dry land?
Yes, as a matter of fact, they are.
Well, that's good. I'm always wondering about things that folks who are residents of Laguna Woods can do with their grandchildren. Is this something that if you wanted to teach your grandchild about sailing, is there some involvement that they could have?
Well, we're not really set up for children because there are more risks to it, but it's something we could certainly investigate for classes. That's probably a good idea.
Yes, the education part.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
we'll
good.
think about that.
All right,
good suggestion.
Okay, good. Oh, so you're open to suggestions. And you are maybe looking for new club members?
Yes, we find that right now we have 107 members, but every year we have people that no longer are interested for whatever reason, and people that are new. So it's always nice to get the word out, and we certainly appreciate Channel 6 for giving us that opportunity.
Absolutely. So. Well, after today's cruise, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people just speed dialing you.
Yeah, sounds good.
That'll be good.
Our website has my phone number,
yes.
Our information for emails, so great.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to speak with some of the other members of the crew today, so we find out everybody's responsibilities, and we learn how we can all be safe out there in the water. So thank you so much for your time today, Commodore.
Oh, thank you very much for having us.
Of course. And now we're speaking with Lloyd Chase, who is Vice Commodore of the Laguna Woods Yacht Club. Now, Lloyd, can you tell us what are your responsibilities as Vice Commodore?
Well, you might guess I'm in charge of Vice.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
A little bit joke, but basically, I had a lot of work to do when I was a Rear Commodore, and now I'm sort of like the Vice President. You know what James Garner said about the Vice President? Doesn't do much.
Oh.
Office is worth warm spit, but this is true here because I back up the Commodore and sit on board meetings and get prepared to do the job myself that he's doing right now. And I get involved in a lot of the sailing activities because I do have my own sailboat, take people out in the club and participate in all the cruises that we do and some of the educational aspects.
So it's a little bit of everything based on your experience. So you have a lot of experience sailing.
I've been sailing for 55 years, and everything from a dumpy old boat I sailed in Cayuga Lake in upstate New York as a graduate student to racing boats on Raritan Bay in the ocean. And when I moved to California, I decided that I would do something more leisurely, and my wife and I bought a 30-foot Catalina like the one the club has. We did a lot of cruising with friends. It's great for socializing. We did a lot of racing, which is pretty intense, and sometimes it leads to lots of strong language.
Oh,
every action and sometimes every word matters when you're doing something like that. And that's why I think sailing is sort of a wonderful activity, because you can do it, anything in it, from sitting around and watching the waves and socializing with people to getting involved in intense racing, which is a real sport.
Yes. Yes. So,
lots of aspects to the sport.
So you really can go out there and do a lot of work all day long.
Oh, you can engage in any activity you want. If you want to help sail the boat, you can help raise sails, adjust sails, dock the boat, all those sorts of things that the crew normally would do if you choose to, but you don't have to do that.
Yes.
Because a lot of people come out and just enjoy being out there looking at the wildlife and the waves and being moved along without a motor.
Yes, yes. Now, I have to ask, all of our consciousnesses have been raised here in Southern California recently by Heal the Bay and, keep our oceans clean and beach cleanups and things like that, where we really want to be good custodians of our waters and our beaches and so forth. Does the Yacht Club get involved in any of that?
Some of us have, but it's all personal. The Yacht Club itself, I don't think, has gotten involved as a group in that sort of thing. But some of us have been involved in harbor cleanups and
Yes.
things like that, because we do want to take care of our harbor.
Yes.
We're the people who use it.
Yes, yes. And so you keep the boat here in Dana Point Harbor. Is that typically where the Laguna Woods Yacht
right.
Club, it's the hiatuses we're going out in today, right?
The hiatus you're going out in, it's basically the same as my boat. And to give you some background on it, I might say that when I first arrived here, I went to the first Yacht Club meeting, and Daryl, the Commodore, announced that the boat had gotten dismasted. So I said, hey, I have a sailboat, I'll take you sailing. And I'll tell you something, I made a lot of friends fast.
Oh, I'll bet you did. A backup boat. I mean, what are the chances? That's great.
They liked my boat enough that they bought one like it. And
Oh.
it's been good for the Yacht Club, I think.
So it made sense for the use that it gets through the Yacht Club.
Yeah, we
the
can
number
share
of
our
people.
experiences and our maintenance chores. There's a lot of maintenance that goes into a sailboat.
I'm sure.
And we are a volunteer group that does that sort of thing. We
Isn't
do
that
most of our own
wonderful?
maintenance.
That's great. That's great. So you're learning constantly about.
And anyone who's interested can get involved in that aspect of it too.
Yes, good.
There's a lot of fun to playing around with boats.
Yes.
Mark Twain said that, I think.
Oh, well, yeah. Did you ever have a dangerous situation when you were sailing?
Well, I've had some moments when I wished I wasn't out there, but nothing dangerous.
That's
I once
a good
had
way
a-
to put it.
was going north. I did the whole California coast myself single-handed. And one time I was going north, and I ended up getting hit by some monstrous waves and just sort of took the sails down and sat there. And the Coast Guard helicopter came over, and I didn't see them. They called me on the radio, and I said, no, I'm not in trouble. But that was an unsettling circumstance.
Sure. But your years of sailing, helped you to understand what to do in
That's
that
right.
situation.
A lot
Wow.
of experience
Wow.
needed to do that sort of thing.
Well, I'm officially scared now as we go out.
Well, I'll say one thing about Dana Point and the area around here. It's a fairly benign environment. It's nothing like the north coast of California or Oregon or Washington State.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, we're excited. We're going to talk to a couple more people, and we're going to put our life vests on and hop on board and head out to the open seas. So thank you so much, Lloyd,
You're
for
welcome.
speaking
Have
with
a
us.
good time.
Thank you. We're speaking now with Pris Given. And Pris, I understand that you're a skipper. What does that involve?
Well, that is a commitment to the club to take members, new members, older members, whoever signs up, out for an afternoon sail on a weekly basis. And I've done it for 5 years and had a lot of fun doing it. And somewhere along the line, we decided that it would mean a whole lot more to the members that are out sailing with us if we started a sailing academy and ran them through the basics of sailing. And now we're on intermediate classes because so many have taken, we've probably educated 200 people. And so the whole idea of sailing on a weekly basis has taken on a whole new meaning. And it's very exciting to be part of it.
So beyond educating these people, and that is wonderful to have that kind of hands-on experiential education, you're really kind of growing the club membership too, aren't you?
Oh, exactly, because people are really attracted to the learning experience. And that's one of the special things about Laguna Woods, is that people love to get involved in learning activities and experiences. And so, first of all, a lot of people don't even know there's a yacht club. But when they do learn about it, the question always is, well, I don't sail, or I sailed years ago, and I need to kind of get back at it with a refresher course. Well, we have that for people. And it's so we have two classes a year, one in the spring and one in the fall. And it works out just beautifully, and it also maintains and keeps the membership.
You know, I think that's very, very interesting. One of the things that I noticed as I went online and I looked at your website, and I felt very invited into the process. I not only learned about the yacht club and about sailing, I learned that it will be a social activity for me. I don't have to have any previous experience.
Right.
It's okay that I have a moderate fear of the water, and you're going to help me with that.
Even a severe fear of the water,
Okay.
and we'll help with that. But it's really nice because there are different facets of the club that appeal to different people. There's a certain percentage of people that never go out on the boat, but they love the social part of it because the members are just incredibly friendly and, you know, draw each other in to things. Years ago, I was skipping the boat, and a gal got off on the dock right here and said, "That was an absolutely wonderful ride." And I said to her, "That wasn't a ride, it was a sail." And I thought to myself, you know, she didn't know any better.
Nope.
Now it's time to start a class
Yes.
and introduce them at least to the nomenclature.
Sure.
And that sort of thing.
Sure.
And give them an opportunity to feel included in the sail, whether it's pulling on lines or whatever.
Yes.
So that's how that started.
I'll use port and starboard and aft and bow and all the words I learned last night.
You've studied up. That's
I
good.
did. Well, you
Yeah.
put it on your website, so I figured I kind of had to.
Right.
But that's great. I mean, any tiny bit of education leads to more thinking about it and more activity and more interest in it. So it's working.
And I'm just so excited when I go out sailing with these folks to see them actually sail, to understand what they're doing. It just gives me goosebumps because that's what we've tried to do and tried to and not only introduce the sport of sailing, but also the love of the water and the love of the sea. And because here we are, I mean, what a magnificent location to live.
Yes.
And so, and we see all sorts of wildlife out there.
Yes.
You know, I've had a whale swim right up alongside, splash me on my leg the first time I went out, and it was a great big huge whale. And I thought, my God, this is amazing. And then, you know, we have dolphins and that kind of thing. So
Yes.
it's a
Yes.
really exciting experience.
Yes, and you can educate people that way about
Yeah.
marine life.
Exactly.
It's wonderful. Well, Pris, we're just about ready to put on our life vests and hop on board and take off. So we're looking forward to it. Any last words before we head out?
Enjoy,
Skipper?
enjoy, enjoy.
Okay,
It's a
all
beautiful
right.
day.
Okay, we're going to do
Okay.
it. Thanks, Pris.
All right. Good.
So we're talking with Bill Chen, who is today, you're our...
I'm the first mate, but I'm doing the skipper's job today.
Oh, you are. So
yeah.
this is a big promotion for you today.
Yeah, that's right.
So you were talking a minute ago, Bill, about, when you were working hard as a
Yeah.
younger man,
Yeah.
and you're paying attention to, what were you paying attention to then?
Well, I was trained as an electrical engineer,
Uh-huh.
and I worked 40 some years to get to retirement.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to sail, but never got around to it. Either academics or professional keep me busy. And so finally I got here, and Jeff was my neighbor. And we talked about our interest. He said, "Oh, you want to sail? I can arrange that."
Oh my goodness.
So he took me down on the boat. It was a different boat back then. And let me try it out. And I got hooked.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So how long have you been sailing now?
About 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And you're taking us out on this beautiful cruise today.
Yes, I am.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And this is a nice boat. It's an ocean-worthy boat. So in theory, you can take it to Hawaii if you want to.
Yes.
The boat will last. I'm not sure I would.
Well, I'm sure you would. I mean, well, if the conditions are they similar to today, I know you would, because it's just a beautiful
Yes,
day.
That's right. But this particular point of sail is nice and calm.
Yeah.
When we turn around, it wouldn't be as calm as it is now.
Right.
So.
Okay. Wonderful. I'm gonna speak to Jeff now too.
Sure.
Now, Jeff, you mentioned a little bit ago about the fact that you do races too with these boats. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, we don't race this boat,
Oh,
but
you-
it has been. We've tried it. Tried it meaning it's not really set up for competition.
Okay.
But the competition is more to have fun. So Chris has got more experience with the racing side of it.
Okay.
I guess I'd classify myself more as a cruiser.
Okay.
Catalina is the sort of thing that I like to do.
So tell us a little bit about Catalina, cruising the Catalina.
Well, it's a long day, and it depends on the weather. We're going to go around the island, and the other side of the island is quite different. The people that have lived here and boated for 30, 40 years, they go to Catalina all the time, and you say, "What do you think of the other side?" And they say, "Never been there." So, but on the other side, you're on the weather side. And so it's much more stark and rugged. There's not much beach over there. There's a couple of harbors, Catalina Harbor, Cat Harbor it's called, and Little Harbor, and then those are the only two. So we don't know. We'll be following our instincts as to where we put in, especially on the backside. We may go into Cat Harbor, but it would be fun to go into Little Harbor because the other harbors have moorings, which are
Right.
places you pick up, the lines and you attach your boat to. Little Harbor, we would have to anchor, which is another skill that
Sure.
we don't get much opportunity to do. So that may be one of the things we'll do. I don't know. But the skippers usually have what you might call a retreat, which is in the fall, and we do Catalina. And we do one direction, the other direction. We've done all kinds of things in this, and it's a good learning experience. It's a good experience to get acquainted.
Wow. Well, we'll look forward to hearing more about that, and maybe go on that cruise ourselves at some point.
It's 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours. I think the last time we went from here to Cat Harbor, and it was dark when we got in.
Oh.
So I think that we will probably not do that this time
Right.
because
Sure.
the restaurant was about to close, and we didn't.
Oh no, you don't want that.
Buffalo burgers and a brew are why we sail.
Right, you need that. So, Pris, we saw a small pod of dolphins a moment ago, and you said that you've seen great numbers of them. Could you tell us a little bit more about what you've seen?
You're just sailing along, and all of a sudden, we've sailed into probably 1,000 dolphins. And same thing happened with not a whole lot of whales, but we were sailing along and we almost hit a whale. So what happens is they just simply do their own thing.
Right.
You never know when, where, or what's going to happen. But that's what makes it kind of fun and exciting. Everybody loves to see the marine life.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's so exciting. It's so beautiful and peaceful. And then to see something just leap out of the water that's so large.
So graceful too. That's the thing. Just an amazing thing. So, and they like to play with the boat.
Isn't that wonderful?
So they dive under the boat and they lead you, for it. So it really is a lot of fun. Yeah.
And you can't have that experience in any other way. No, this is wonderful. Well, we're back in port. We had a marvelous day. I want to be sure and thank David, Pris, Bill, Lloyd, Daryl, and Jeff. They were great. They taught us so much about marine life and about sailing. We had a terrific time. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we hope that you watch us on Village Television, and we hope that you like us on YouTube. Join us every time on Discovering Laguna Woods Village.